Yep, I was just looking for volume. There we go. Good morning, Daniel. Sorry, Jack. Cat, I don't know. Jack, where's my... Oh, there it is. Hi, good morning, Thomas. Jack says thank you. You really can't see him, but he said thank you. How are you, Thomas? Where are you from? Hi. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just going to take it out of normal. Demonetize me. Oh, funny. Thomas says I can't hear you well because my mom is here and I'm supposed to be in bed. I'm from Duncanville. We are in Northeast Tennessee. Nice to meet you, Thomas. You should sub only if you want to sub. I don't want to make you do anything you don't want to do. We are here every morning. Sometimes we pop up in the afternoons. And we would love to see you again, Thomas. If you sub, it'll be easier to find us. But that's all I'm going to say. Thomas says, oh yeah, how is it like over here? It's beautiful. Mountains and rivers and lakes. You like helping people with their streams? Well, that's very nice of you. Just to fit in. Hi, Carl. Good morning, me friend. Good morning, Carl, me friend. How'd I do? Thomas says, yeah, my friend made me this account. And hi, Cat. Hi, Thomas. Oh, you said hi, Carl. Oh, yes, say hi to Carl. Good morning, Carl. Are you working today? Is it off to work today? Jack, you're just so rude. And you need a good bath. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone. You're just a mess. Thomas says I'm still in school. LOL. I figured you were, Thomas, since you were trying to be kind of quiet because your mom might find out. Not now, but later today. Right. I got you. You're in a band. What kind of music do you play? Carl says you definitely won't be coming to my live stream. Right. Carl doesn't allow young people in his live stream because Carl has some racy content, don't you, Carl? Thomas says, can you listen to the song Bravo Zulu? I played it. I can bring it up and listen to it later. So, do you play an instrument in your band? Bravo Zulu? You play the trumpet? What? Really? Wow. I think it's great. Okay, I am bringing up. I brought up. I typed. No, I didn't type it correctly. Never mind. RAVO cat. Okay. Autocorrect keeps trying to change it. Bravo Zulu meaning, origin, and military. I'm looking for it as a song. ONG. He says it's okay. And was I the first person here? No. Our friend Daniel Barry Sports Highlights was the first one here. This is it. You're in a proper band. Are you like in the marching band? He says, that's it. Yes. And yes. Wow. You are amazingly talented. I think anybody that could be in a marching band is freaking awesome. Oh, no. He said no. Oh, you said, wait a minute. Copyright. Carl says copyright. I'm used to it, Carl. I'm not monetized. It's okay. He says, I am in middle school. So do you want to be in a marching band once you hit high school? That is definitely marching band type music. I love it though. That's awesome. Thomas says, how dare you, LOL. I do actually. Aw, great. I am very impressed. How long have you been playing the trumpet? I used to play the flute. Not very well. But that's what, in music class, back in my day, way back then. Um, in elementary school, everybody got a musical instrument and learned to play it. Wings to the Mind. I won't play it, but I will bring it up so I can look at it later. Because Carl is right. I can get too many copyright strikes. Ooh, Carl. Wings to the Mind. W. Nice. I brought it up and I will listen to it later. Carl says, Tina, good morning. Do your job. Oh, if Tina's in the hospital, how can you demand she do her job, Carl? Thomas says, my cat is so cute. What kind of cat do you have? He's in a ball shape. I love you, Bubba. There we go. Carl says, cleaning your channel out, not my channel. Go ahead, Thomas. What's your question? Well, not really. You changed your mind. Okay. A compliment. We will take all compliments. Beautiful room. Thank you, Thomas. Wassa says, don't believe her, Jack. They always say that and then bounce one day over dumb stuff, anyways. Wow. And dog. Thank you, Thomas. Wassa says, I'm playing, Jack. Don't listen to me. How are you, Wassa? Good morning. Thomas says, anytime. We appreciate you. What is your favorite subject at school, Thomas? Is it music? I think like the fun stuff in school, music, maybe PE, and art should be more important than all the rest. That's just my, for what it's worth, opinion. Carl says, you don't appreciate me. I don't, Carl? You don't think so? Wow, Carl. All right, Carl, I got it. Everything is either a call to love or a call for love. Carl, I love you. I love you so much, and I do appreciate you. Carl, you show up every morning. My morning would not be the same without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Carl. I love you so much. Thank you. Thomas says band or Texas history. You like history, huh? Nice. Aw, Thomas says, I do, Carl. Thank you, Thomas. Wassa says, I'm good. I was just listening to the most fascinating account from a North Georgia Sasquatch habituation site. Oh, really? Interesting. Wassa says, Carl, hey, buddy. And Thomas says, Carl, don't say bad stuff about yourself. Agreed. Thomas says, it's bad. And oh, I know, Carl. Carl just needs lots of love. Some people are like that. Some people need a little extra. I mean, we all need love, but sometimes we need a little extra. So, what do you think, Thomas? I know you're fairly young, but what do you think right now you would like to do for a living? Do you have any ideas or any passions? Thomas says the only person that gives love every day is God nonstop. Well, first off, I want to make a correction. God is not a person, but I agree. God can't help, or creator, or your source. Love. Love can't help but do what love is. Just love. Lassa says a weak pinch extra love Carl deserves and commands. Absolutely. Thomas says maybe an artist or make music. Well, if you make music, that's an artist also. Hi, Joshua. Good morning. Joshua says love is key. I agree. Thomas says, hi, Josh. Thomas says, I forgot. Hey, Thomas, if you said your friend made your account, does that mean your mom won't let you have an account? Are you old enough to have an account? I'm guessing middle school you might be old enough. I forgot. T dash T. Or is that supposed to be a face? I don't know. Joshua says, I like the question on the long live. Did you? It makes you think, right? Well, it made me think a lot. Well, thank you for that, Joshua. I'm trying to do stuff that's different than everybody else. Right? Wasa is saying to our friend Thomas, find a way to monetize what you love doing most, and you will be forever a happy person, entity. Thomas says, so she said I can subscribe or like. So he made it and told my mom, and she didn't care. Okay, I got you. Thomas is real. Ugh. Thomas says I can't type. Join the club. Is it a book by Jack? This? No, it's my makeup bag. What is the TT, Thomas? Jack's experimenting with makeup. We've done a makeup session online before. Thomas says God loves you. Yes. Wassa says, oh boy. TT means a cry face. Oh, okay. I wondered if it was a face. Joshua says, yup, Jack and his lashes. And so that's a cry face too. Hi, Daniel Kitts. How are you, my friend? Shave me, babe. Oh, Wassa says it's clever there. He says, no, it's a goofy face. Okay, that's what it looked like to me, a goofy face. Carl says, Cat, you let me down. Oh, no. Hey, Carl, you know what would be really nice, Carl? For Carl to come in and say something nice to Cat. The nicest thing Carl says to Cat in the morning is, good morning. Oh, damn. Thomas says, hi, Daniel. Daniel, I just want to give you a warning. Thomas is one of our new young friends. Okay, so we'll just watch what we're saying. Thomas says, really bad cry face. Oh no. Wassa says, Cat, you're wrong. I know. I know. What else is new? Thank you for that, Wassa. Thomas says, I'm silly and goofy. Well, you know what? I love that. Always keep a little silly and goofy, even when you totally grow up, okay? What? Oh, guess what? Thomas says, what? Thomas, are you going to be up in time for school? Ooh, maybe. Hang on, I got something in my eye. He says, my mom got me my first pocket knife, but only for self defense. Nice. No taking it to school, right? Right. No. Okay, good. Wassa says a pocket knife was probably meant as a tool. And he says, I did once, but I didn't know then. Oof. Yeah, it's a big deal, you know. You can get thrown out of school forever. Such a big deal. Such a little thing is such a big deal. Didn't see it coming, Cat. Hi, Rosie. Good morning, my friend. How are you? It's good to see you. Daniel, are you doing well? Thomas says, I got a T Rex on my history. Huh. I'm a little confused. Thomas says, hi, broken and numb Rosie. Thomas, that's Rosie. You will love Rosie. Rosie, everybody loves Rosie. Hi, Sarah. Good morning. Thomas says, how are you guys? Good morning, Sarah. She says, good morning, everyone. Wassa says, I was never officially thrown out, but I was politely asked to leave two high schools, both times for my own safety. And long stories. Wow. Thomas says, thank you for informing me. You're welcome. Thomas says to Wassa, what did you do? Ooh, Thomas Wassa has lots. He has led a very exciting life. We are just learning about it. Rosie says, I stayed up, so I watched your live because I'm either busy or I sleep without being noticed, without noticing from being tired. Excuse me, sorry. I stayed up. Well, thank you, Rosie. Are you doing okay? Except for you've been busy. Wassa says he can't tell the story to a youngin. I'm sorry. I realized after I posted that it was not the best timing. Sarah says, "Good morning, Thomas." Everybody's saying hello. And Thomas says, "I'm warning you now, guys, but this is kind of personal for what happened to me." Well, I hope you will find that everybody here is very kind and loving and will accept whatever you say, Thomas, unless you killed a cat. Then it's over. We're going to break up. Rosie says, "I'm good, I guess. LOL. How about you?" I'm okay. I am back to work, Rosie. This is my 4th day, so it's my Friday. I'm very excited. Thomas says, "My apartment burned down on December 9th, 2025. Wow, not too long ago. Are you going to say that you accidentally burnt it down?" Voss is like, uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. And then I have something to tell you, Thomas. We have a lot in common. Thomas says, with my sisters in there, but I saved them and left my cat, but he survived." Oh, really, Thomas? Wow, where was your mom? And what happened? My goodness, what an adventure. You saved your sisters, that's amazing. And the cat survived, that's amazing too. So funny, I said something about if you killed the cat, we wouldn't be friends. And part of your story was about a cat. Wassa. Wassa, thank you for making me laugh. Carl in the background, mad at cat, thank you for being here. Thomas says, "And no, I was coming home from after school rehearsal, and the downstairs neighbor was one who started it in the closet." Oh no, bad things happen when you hang out in the closet. Rosie says, "Pepsi missed you." Thomas says, "I got to go." Thomas, goodbye. I hope you come back and I will tell you the story of my house fire. Have a great day in school. Bye, honey. You know, how wonderful to be that young and just excited about everything and just be so sweet. Carl says, "I'm talking to his teacher." You'll probably find out he's a really great kid. He plays the trumpet, Carl. Come on. That should tell you so much about him. He plays the trumpet in band. Come on. You only wish you could play the trumpet in a band. Roas, hello. Roas says, "Cat, are a lot of people coughing in your area? If so, be careful of the new cicada COVID virus. It's spreading quick in California." Oh no. I'm immune to COVID. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I'm immune, so I'm not concerned. But thank you for the warning. And no, I haven't particularly noticed a lot of people coughing more than normal. No, not at all, actually. Thank you for the warning, though. Wassa says, "But still natural, still mature enough not to say anything particular off color." Are you talking about yourself? Hi, Foxy. Foxy, is this a different channel? No, it's not a different channel. No, Thomas, I meant Wesson. I know, I was teasing. Hello, Marlon. Good morning, my friend. Really, really good, Foxy. How are you? You know, sometimes if I'm not even thinking about it, I can pop my contacts in, no problem. But if I spend a lot of time trying to be very careful and do it just perfect, I always have problems. Wassa says everything I say is off color. It's my brand. And Carl says he wouldn't get in the door of my channel. Carl, you should be so lucky to have somebody as wonderful as Thomas in your channel. That's all I'm saying. Foxy is not doing good. What's going on, my friend? So sorry to hear that. Right? Wassa also says, Carl, you would be missing out then. But Carl's allowed to just not want to have children around. Some people don't have children. Dear, dear Foxy. It's rather personal, so I'd rather not talk about it. Okay. Does it have anything to do with the fact that your name has been changed just a little bit? And listen, I'm really sorry, and I will say a little prayer for you, my friend. I don't like to see you unhappy. There's only one person who has the job of being unhappy around here, and we all know who that is. Roaz says yes. In California, there are a lot of people above normal amount that are coughing, sneezing, and getting body fevers. I got my third shot because a coworker got nosebleeds due to an overly runny nose. Well, that happens. That's pretty normal to get a bloody nose from a runny nose. Oh, Carl says I, JP, and the two Tinas. Oh, you're right, Carl. That's enough. I didn't know there was two Tinas though. Now you're really switching things up. Foxy says it does not have anything to do or any impact of that. My name has changed. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Rosie is sending you love, Foxy. Paul says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Paul. How's your morning, Paul? Mine was too early. It came way too early. Hi, Lois. Good morning. Hey, Lois. I really appreciate you. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Just like before. Get it out, cat. Paul is okay. And is everyone doing okay? I am. It's my Friday. Woohoo! I'm so tired. I am so dang tired. I have so much to do too at home. Um, Roaz asks, how do you remedy Jack if he's feeling under the weather? Is there moping that he does? Um, Jack is usually only feeling under the weather due to food. So I don't know. I change his diet. I don't know, Roaz. Well, thank you, Lois. Foxy says, be right back. All right, Foxy. What is, Miss Rosie? How is school? Rosie sending lots of love. I feel like I need to get up and shake it off. Shake it up. Ooh. Carl says your days are changing next week. Is that a prediction, Carl? Am I going to my 1 to 3 schedule tomorrow? I mean, next week? But Carl, Carl is so right. Let's talk about this. Carl is very right. My days are changing next week. You're absolutely right, Carl. But just for that week. Lois says, well, hello, Carl. All right, what's Cat gonna do? Turn the fan off. Okay. Oh no. Rosie says, don't ask. I regret every single decision I made, and I don't know what I did to myself. LOL. Carl says they're changing for good. Oh, I thought you meant they're changing for the good. See how one little word could change that whole sentence? I'm going to do what Wasa accuses me of doing, ad-libbing. Carl says your hours are changing for the good, Cat. Paul says to Rosie, every decision, question mark. Dun, 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 waiting with bated breath for Rosie to answer. Are you under pressure over there, Rosie? Lois says, did Jag get over being caged? He did. He did. And I did make him calm down before I let him out, just so he knows he can't be all crazy and be let out of his cage. It was, well, he had to go to the bathroom. That was the reason. But he hadn't been locked up all morning. All morning he was out. William says, I need help. I am dealing with existential dread and it isn't getting better. Everyone is all for the woo of CIS, but it isn't going to fix my situation I am facing soon. I can't. Oh Lord, you can't find it. I am facing soon. I can't sleep and running out of ways to be distracted and running out of time. Well, William, I know you've been struggling for a while. So, what kind of help are you looking for, William? Because I know we've offered you all sorts of ideas and thoughts and practices. Hi, Daniel, again. Lois says, I believe even when one is overwhelmed with bad luck, at some point it will change positively, like an unlucky / lucky drought. Gotta do stuff karmically to fill that soul well. I like that's pretty interesting, Rose. I kind of like that. Daniel Kitts, I am awesome. How are you? Hey, Daniel, it's my Friday, and I'm so excited. I could just jump up and down. I'm so excited. I made it. I made it. Rosie's laughing. Now, if I could just figure out how to make 3 days off last and make it feel like forever. Daniel says, sorry, I was on the game. No problem. Right, goals, right, Rosie? So, Rosie, you, you deflected Miss Rosie. Paul asked you a question, and we're all waiting to hear your answer. No pressure. No pressure at all. We're just all waiting. He asked you, do you regret every decision? Or was it a joke? Because I can say funny things like that and not really mean it. Dana says, and cool. Enjoy your time off, Miss Jackie. Thank you. I might change my name one day to Miss Jackie. Wow, Rosie. She says, yes, she does regret every single one. Rosie, do you think you made a decision to come here? Or do you think it was just fate? It just happened? Paul says, even your decision to be kind to others. I'm saying, I think you made a decision to come here and to be born to your parents in the family that you were born in. And that was a decision. So do you regret that? William says, I need a fix. I need a place to live, a job. I regret every decision I made, be it taking advice or trying it myself because I still fail. I'm sorry you feel that way, William. I know nothing I say is going to make a difference to you. So all I can say to you is I love you. I'm rooting for you. And um, yeah, I'm praying for you, my friend. Carl says your new rouster. You're only getting 2 days off. Nope, I quit. Rosie says, Paul, I can't regret that. And Paul agrees 100. Roa says, getting a good rest, 6 to 8 hours, then having some waffles, pancakes, or Belgian style with whipped cream, strawberries, and some orange juice or coffee. Start your morning off good. It sounds amazing. Rosie says, she's thinking. She says she's not sure. Daniel says, I am doing good, just relaxing finally in the naked time and going to snuggle on my pillow and tummy, butt in the air. But first, I want to tell you about what I ate. Tell me. Says he's got cerebral palsy and he's chilling with me. Can't go, boy, please, but I know you true. Cause I love you. Aw. Paul says to Rosie, someone needed your kindness and you freely gave it. Absolutely. Oh, Rosie shows so many ways she's so kind and she regrets being kind. Lois says, you need your glass of milk, Daniel. Oh, Daniel says, I ate a homemade burger and baked beans. Yummy. You know what's perfect with that? Tater tots. Who made the burger? Did you make the burger, Daniel? Carl says, I think I'll go live later on YouTube. Carl, I'll look for you, but I am working. Rosie says, I don't regret being kind and I never will, but maybe other things I do regret. I haven't even finished reading and I see Wassa down there. Daniel said, I already drank some chocolate milk. Yummy. Your mom made the burger. Can I come live with you, Daniel? Lois says, tots are good anytime food, especially with turkey sloppy joes. Yes, sloppy joes and tater tots. Paul says, I've had regrets as well, Rosie. William, what you are is lovely, and I love you. And if you believe you are unworthy, I'm sorry. But I love you, and I hope you find something good in today. Rosie says, what got us on the topic? You, ma'am. You just blurting out, I regret every decision I ever made. She says, oh, I forgot. How convenient. Hey, Rosie, I've missed you and I love you. My tummy agreed. Rosie says, dang, my brain isn't working properly. It's early. Lois says, I think we all have regrets. Sarah says she likes tater tots by themselves. Did I read that? Paul says, everyone here is loved. That is absolutely true. And Lois says, thank you, Paul. Carl is loved, especially Carl, because Carl really, really needs some extra love. And we love you, Carl. And yes, Carl, I can love lots of people. Rosie says, I missed you guys too. Carl, didn't you miss Rosie? We're so glad to see her again. That should be a bright spot in Carl's day. Yep, Lois says, you are too, Carl. Rosie says, LOL, I won't speak. I'm starting to forget. Dang, I am really that old. Rosie, when do you turn 20? When is your birthday? Daniel says, have you already turned 20? Daniel says, Lois, I have been waiting for, I'm waiting for my digestive system to start working. Daniel says, yes, we love you, Rosie. Paul sends a great big heart. She says, no, I'm still 19. I feel like you've been 19 forever. When is your birthday? You have to tell. It's a rule. That's what I tell Jack. When Jack won't listen to me, Jack went to obedience classes, right? Well, school. So when I need him to sit, I'm supposed to go, sit, Jack. And he just looks at me and I'm like, you must sit. This is the rule. And Lois says, yes, sometimes you have to just wait. You just have to sit and wait, Daniel. Daniel says, and Jack. Paul says, I'm 30. All right, cool. Rosie says, I don't like my birthday after the last 2 years. Well, you can always make it better. The good thing is that there's always another one, and you can always make it better, Rosie. Daniel says, I'm 33. You know, Lady Sky was talking yesterday about being old at 42, and I was thinking 40s were good. Paul says, oh, wait, I'm not 30. Oh, you're not. Shocker. Lois says, I'm older than all you babies. I was surprised to hear your age, Lois. I thought you were a lot younger. I knew you were a little bit older than me, which made me love on you so much more. Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh, gosh. You're a leaker. Wassa says, careful, cat. Rosie says, I want to be young again. Rosie. Daniel says, oh, I think it was Lois that said babies. Carl says, I'm just giving my manager moderator the power to remove wrenches. How do you do that, Carl? I didn't think that was really a thing because I have the same YouTube you do. Rosie says, or no, Wassa says to Rosie, to what, Rosie? An infant? I'd like to know how you do that, Carl, because I've not seen that option. And if you want to take away my wrench, it's okay. Daniel says to Lois, aw, I love you. Daniel, you're amazing. Rosie says, Wassa, if it was a good life, yes, but if it's going back to the past, nope. Rosie, you've hung out with Yogi enough to have heard the thing about the past is that it's not here now. Why are we living in the past? It's a good question. I realize sometimes when I am acting out that it's not about whatever's happening now, it's based on something that's happened to me in the past. I'm reacting based on what I've known in the past. Rosie says, young with no worries or problems. Dang, LOL. I wish. Isn't that funny? And how when we're kids, we want to grow up so bad. Once we're there, we're like, nah, I'll go back. Wassa says you could take his too, Carl. He says he'd still come around. A lot of people take my wrench back. Apparently, I'm a bit sketchy, question mark. Apparently. I don't know why anybody would say that, Wassa. Rosie says, LOL, I never thought once of wanting to grow up. It never came to mind. Lois says, say it isn't so, Wasa. Wasa says, I haven't figured it out either. And Rosie's got sad faces. Roa says, when you're a kid, you want to be grown up. When you're grown up, you want to be a kid again. Yes. So for Rosie says she doesn't remember ever wanting to grow up. But like I said, I remember. I'm going to do whatever I want to when I'm all grown up. And then you find out you can't do whatever you want to when you're grown up. What the heck? Daniel is sending love. Thank you, Daniel. Carl Shell says goodbye. Goodbye, Carl. Carl. Hey, Carl. Carl, are you listening? I love you. I love you. I love you, Carl. I hope you have the very, very best day. Wasa says, good night, Carl. I'll watch for your live later. Yes, me too. Every time I sneak off to the bathroom, I'll check. Everybody's saying bye to Carl. Daniel's laughing. Rosie's laughing. And Rosie says, love you, Carl, and good night or good morning. Have a good day. It's already into the day for Carl. Rosie says, oops, well then. Good morning then, Carl. Have a good morning. Daniel is laughing. I don't know what I did, but I'm glad he's laughing. Wasa says, oh, hey, Daniel, I didn't notice you come in. I was busy motivating a few deadbeats over here. What? Excuse me? Shoot, I realize somebody hurt my feelings not too long ago. Well, it's been almost a year. Somebody hurt my feelings, and I still treat that person differently because of the way they treated me in the past. So I am still living in the past when I bring that up in my mind. It's kind of sad because this person is lovely. Lois says, just what does your motivation entail, Wasa? And Paul says, I sure needed it. Thank you, Wasa. Rosie says, who, cat? Who. I'm an owl. I can't say who. I'm just saying it's not them, it's me. It was how I took something they said, and I still can't let it go. I am still living in the past, and the past isn't here anymore. It's all gone. They don't know what they did. They really didn't do it on purpose. It was all me. Wasa says he keeps us in. Oh wait, Lois. Duct tape, mice, and salt works miracles. What? Why did you got any? What's the matter, you? Why did you got any something? Is that song, Roas? Roas says, does anybody remember that song? What's the matter, you? It was a 70s or early 80s song. Lois says, no, not mice. Pulses, they remind me what they did. Daniel says to Wassa, what's up, brother? And Miss Jackie and Lois. 0 makes the chat in the stream on fire. I'm confused. Rosie says the past is gone, but can you forget? Even if you try something or someone has to remind you of what happened, I don't think you can forget. I think this is where Yogi talks about you have to ask for some supernatural help. Whatever you call the Holy Spirit, if you call it the Holy Spirit, you call it the Holy Ghost, you call it your higher self, angels, guides, you ask for help because you can't do it alone. And eventually it does happen, Rosie. Rosie says, I need corrupted and his emojis. Paul says, forget. No, I definitely can't. Exactly. None of us can. You need a little supernatural help. And Lois says, and they seem to want to remind you of what you would like to forget. Well, that's just when I move. I get up, I move, I start a new life, I get a new name. Paul agrees. Daniel agrees. Do y'all hear my stomach? It's like I was swallowing air while I was sleeping or something. It's crazy. Daniel, am I having sympathy tummy issues? Rosie says, I can't forget. I'll need a whole therapist for that that's willing to listen for ages. I'll be more than 100 years old when I'll be able to finish talking about my past. But is that what you want to do? Is that what you want to do? I know I would like to get over all the crap from my past. And everybody has trauma. Everybody, whether they talk about it or they're affected by it, I think everybody has some kind of trauma they're trying to get over. And the problem is they're not asking for help. I think a therapist can get you so far. Dana says, you need to, but the air is still trapped really high in my belly. It's not ready yet. Rose says, there was a time I drank Pepto Bismol, not because I had an upset stomach, because it tasted good. Oh, no. There is like a vitamin or a mineral deficiency where you crave things that taste like chalk. I wonder if you had that going on, Roaz. Rosie says, I wouldn't talk to a therapist, at least I don't think. I have to be really honest. When I talk to myself during the day, I do a lot of praying. Praying is talking to God or the Holy Spirit or whoever is your higher authority. Praying for me is just talking things out with the Holy Spirit. And I do that all the time. Sometimes I bitch to the Holy Spirit. Sometimes I'm not very nice. Sometimes I just let it all out. And you know what? That's super helpful. But that is my form of praying. Meditating is a time to get quiet and listen. to me. Paul says, I wish my love could fix everyone. Aw. Rosie says, Paul, your friendship is enough to make me feel better and love you. Rosie says, did I just hear you say what you said, that I can be a bitch? Yes, I said it. Is that what you're talking about? I cursed. Because I can be completely, shockingly that way, Rosie. Sometimes my attitude and my thoughts are so shocking to me. I'm like, wow, where did that come from? Lois says, I used to chew 20-year-old baseball card bubble gum. Wow, I'm an odd duck. It's very interesting. Good morning, Squirrel Sniper. It's so good to see you. Paul says, love to Rosie. Rosie says, the non innocent cat has come out. Oh, totally not innocent. She's shocked. She says, we will be great friends, Cat. LOL. I thought we already were. Lois says, hey, Squirrel. How are you doing, Squirrel? Sarah says, oh, Paul. Very, very sweet of Paul. But today's A Course in Miracles lesson. Let's get it in there. I am as God created me. God didn't create me with a past or with trauma or with hang-ups or with being a bee. That's not what God created. God created a perfect, holy, innocent being. And that never changes. All that outward stuff, all the stories we tell, that's not us. Our thoughts, thank goodness my thoughts are not who I am, because my thoughts can be really ugly. So deep down, each one of you are perfect and holy and innocent, and nothing's happened, nothing's gone wrong here. Rosie says we are friends, but the non innocent has not met each other yet. Sniper says, I stopped my late night stream when I saw 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds was a great night. Awesome. I love that. That's amazing. Those threes, man. I don't know how I feel about threes, girl. Rosie says, am I really innocent though? Yes, you are. Absolutely. I think part of our function here is to find out that that's who we are, is to remember. Remember. Yes, remember. I feel like we have teams in the background that we can't see that are like whispering to us all the time. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember. Lassa says 3612. Are those 3333? Got you. Daniel says to Lois, I am happy that I have met you. In the stream, y'all are like family. Same, Daniel. That's why I want to come and hang out with you and let mom cook. Skull Sniper says the church stole the original Trinity. That's why it's her name in the Matrix. Oh, Trinity, that's interesting. Lois says, yes, it does feel like family. Mr. Possessive says, perfect, yes. But I'm just like Brittany, not that innocent. Here we go. Exactly. Roas says, if your deity created you imperfectly with fault, shouldn't the deity accept you as you are, no matter the changes you endure in life, good and bad? Yes. But how could a perfect God create something that's not perfect? It's not possible. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. Daniel says to Sarah, quiet Sarah Washington, I love you. That's so sweet, Daniel. Thank you for that, Daniel. Oh, Jack, I hear your belly now. Daniel, all of our bellies are going at once. It's really funny. Paul says, oh, Cat, that hits hard. Good. I hope good. Lois says logic doesn't always fit into life. I know, but this isn't this this life, this hell that we're living, this isn't something that my belief is this is not something that a perfect God would create and let his imperfect creations destroy. Nope. If God made something that's imperfect, he would be imperfect. Aw, Sarah says, I love you too. Aw. Squirrel Sniper says logic. I spoke about that last night. See through logic too critical. Daniel says, I know. I still need to get on pillow and tummy. You've been too busy chatting. I thank you for that, Daniel. Roa says a deity could create. I suppose, but that is not, it's just maybe in a story, Roas. That is what I think. Paul says you are all incredible. Agreed. Lois says it's time to go bottoms up, Daniel. Scroll Sniper says logical thinking was founded by Sir Francis Bacon, that chap that wrote all the Shakespeare work in every school. Nice. Rosie says, and so are you, Paul. Okay, Kat, what time is it? Oh, heck. Oh, heck. Scroll Sniper says 138 years previously was called critical thinking. Rosie says, what happened? What happened to what? I just realized it's 4:09 and I am not ready for work. Paul says, thank you, Rosie. Scroll Sniper says, we have been dumbed down with logical progression. Boa says, I used to like bacon, but choose to say, I choose soy chorizo instead. Is that what is that, Roas? Scroll Sniper says, and less of that critical thinking we had of old. Rosie says, no problem, Paul. And Mr. Possessive Squirrel, right? He definitely is beyond me, Mr. Possessive. He says, Squirrel is mind effing me. Scroll Sniper continued because of industrialization. Scroll Sniper says it's a clear pattern recognition. Paul says, hi, Mister. And Mister says, something about his brain can't compute, right? Lois says, Squirrel always loses me. And Mr. Possessive says, hey, Rosie and Paul. Mr. Possessive, overall rating of Coachella this year. What number out of 10 would or would not recommend? Lois says, hello, Mr. Possessive. I saw a short with from Coachella with a guy on it, and he was walking pretty fast. I can't remember what he said, but it looked like Mr. Possessive to me. Skull Sniper brings it down for us. For us. He says, but hey ho, just enjoy life to the full with no fear. Get grounded, enjoy nature. Thank you for that parting comment that I think we all got. Thank you, Squirrel Sniper. Roa says chorizo is a Mexican spice sausage. Soy chorizo is made of soy, not meat. Mr. Possessive says, hey Lois. That sounds interesting, Rose. I've only tried, nope, I don't know. I've not tried it before. Interesting. But I will keep an eye out for it. Daniel says, I love the vibe tonight and all the interesting stuff and important information, Jack, that you, sweetheart, and blessings, Miss Angel Jackie. Aw. Daniel Kitts, I love you. Thank you. Oh, Rosie says, did I tell you I got a piercing done? She says, my brain really isn't working anymore. What kind of piercing? What did you get, Rosie? Mr. Possessive says, I'd say it was great. A lot of people had issues with it for whatever reason, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth it for the culture and hard work put in by everyone. Definitely recommend. 10 out of 10, huh? Awesome. Glasses. Do you think, Mr. Possessive, somebody that has a little extra cash available would have had a better time at Coachella than somebody who doesn't? Glasses is careful of that soy. Keep it away from me. I guess for a female, it isn't as dangerous. I have heard stuff about soy, which is kind of depressing. Rosie's laughing and says, I guess. Mr. Possessive says 10 out of 10 for sure. Oh, we're supposed to guess what piercing you got. Rosie says, my mom thought I would back down, but she was wrong. Okay, we'll go with it's either a nose piercing or a belly button piercing. Roa says, you can mix chorizo with eggs for breakfast and scoop it up with tortillas. Oh, that's a nice idea. Wasi said it made me soft at one point, crying and stuff. Paul says a nose stud also, and William says the information regarding soy doing anything to change your gender or whatever is false. I think I've just heard something about the growing, the pesticides and the growing of it, maybe, is what I've heard. Mr. Possessive says, oh, definitely. I'm well aware. Oh, okay. I'm well aware of my privilege and being given an artist pass. Okay. For elite access has an easier time than someone car camping, but still, I'd recommend it for the sets alone. I think that's where I was hearing a lot of the complaints, just the drastic difference between those who had the passes or had special privileges over those who didn't. And what did the one guy say? 2 pieces of pizza and a drink, $40. Squirrel Sniper says you are correct, William. Mr. Possessive says there's a rich versus poor side of Coachella for sure. I imagine people complain about the same things every year. I don't. I guess the only reason I pay attention to Coachella this year is because of you, Mr. Possessive. Oh, he says, yeah, food is so expensive and it's messed up how backstage everything is free. Wow. Right? Paul says, same with the world. It's a broken world for sure. Rosie says nose piercing. I already did the belly button piercing. I did the belly piercing twice. The first time they messed it up, so I had to wait a month for it to heal and then redo it. Wow. So you did get the nose piercing. Good for you. I got one when I was 30, but I don't even, I think the hole is still there, but I don't use it anymore. I blow my nose too much to have a piercing in there. And that's messed up. That's scary about the belly button. Wait till you get pregnant. Wait till you get pregnant, Rosie, and see what happens to that belly button ring. William says there is too many events, mister. The allure sells it and they have to generate media for it. And agrees, yeah, pretty much the world. Oh, Rosie says my mom has a nose piercing, so I asked her if she can take me to do mine, and I finally did. Good for you. William says, hey, Squirrel Sniper, how are you? Mr. Possessive says, I think the issue with Coachella is it was funded as a festival to make live music more accessible to everyone, and now it's become an expensive event. I just love the vibes and the music. And Daniel says to Lois, I am going to go bottoms up because I need to go sleep, and I really need to let go some gas. I missed something. I feel like a poor baby tonight. Love, I know what Jackie feels like. I am going to. All right. Shoes. Where do you think Cat put her shoes? She's cold. I think I took them off in the kitchen. It feels very, very chilly outside. Wait. William says, I may do my only live on my channel today. I'm sorry I will miss it. Rosie says, I paid $85 for the nose piercing and $100 for the belly piercing. Wow. Lois said, I did not know he live streamed some of it. Lois. Daniel said, Lois, TikTok, I sleep in the box. Wassa says it doesn't have to change your gender. It's full of that poison estrogen. Mr. Possessive says, but to be fair, I did see some influencers getting messed over by brands and being uninvited and scammed too. So maybe it's cosmic justice. LOL. And Lois says to Daniel, off to sleep you go. Ding. Daniel says, night, night. Love you. Stay warm. Thank you, Daniel. We love you too. Oof. Roa said, I've had both nipples pierced, had lip and tongue, but only have dual nose at the moment. I personally pierced both sides of my eyebrows twice with a sewing needle. Those were hard spots to push through. I bet. Oof. Oof. It just hurts me thinking about it. Paul says, good night, Daniel. And Rosie says, Wassa says, what is this Coachella stuff people keep mentioning? Are you serious? Are you for real? Are you for real right now? So stuffy and cold. I'm cold, I'm cold, I'm freezing. Brr. Lois says, yes, the weather's been cool there too. Oof, well, yes. I suppose it's always cold there. That's at least what I think. Paul says, I've never had a piercing done. And Wassa says, I sincerely have no idea what Coachella means. Well, Mr. Possessive says Wassa's living under a rock. It's just a music festival. Rosie says, I want to get my right eyebrow pierced, but the other thing, yeah, no words. I think I missed something. Somebody pierced something. Something unmentionable, I'm guessing. Sounds like what? Wassa said, sounds like a type of cheese Cinderella ate. Funny. William says the soy panic sourced a few small studies that haven't been ran again since the article was made to give people the ammunition. It originated from the fear of Asians from the world wars. Roa says, I don't know how expensive Coachella has become, but do know it sucks to have to use the porta potties there. I heard that too. Rosie says, Paul, it's just a pinch, unless I'm painless. Paul says, not that I'm against piercing. I kind of like some I've seen. Wassa says, a music festival. Okay. Right. Mr. Possessive says, I know, guy. Mm-hmm. Paul says, oh no, mister. Squirrel Sniper says, interesting, William. And Mr. Possessive says, Paul. He's kind of laughing at Paul. Squirrel Sniper says, every person has a unique hormonal frequency. By introducing phytoestrogens, the system effectively tags the individual's endocrine, okay, profile. Lois says, QQ. Rosie says, Paul, would you like to get earrings or anything else if you would? What, would you get an ear pierced? Or both pierced? If you could? Or if you would? I'm just now taking my allergy medicine. I'm behind. How many piercings? Well, I have a bunch of piercings in my ears, but I don't use them. And my nose. That's it. And I don't use the nose one either anymore. And even when I did wear something in my nose, it was always really, really tiny, like barely noticeable. Wassa says, but my daughter has those, what are they called in your back? Those sexy little diamonds in your back. I don't know how she does that. Wassa says, I've never been pierced, not on purpose for jewelry purposes or tattooed. Thank goodness for that. Goodness knows what troubles that would have caused me. Every scar I have has become a major problem. Really? Wow. Rosie says, I have 5 earrings on each side, so it's 10 total. Wow. Mr. Possessive says, I can see Cat with a belly button piercing because she's hot like that. No. It's so, no. Maybe I would have back in the day because they are sexy. Rosie says, why not? You take the earring ones out. Yeah. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Roa says I'd stock up on just eating breads and salads when going to venues that big. Kind of like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, not eating spaghetti before disco dancing. Okay, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I don't know if I was even old enough to remember anything from that movie when I did see it, if I did see it. Rosie says she's seen it. Hi, hunting and stuff. How are you? I miss something. Paul says diamond back. Oh, what are they called? There's piercings that go in. There's like dimples on a woman's back of her on her lower back. What are those called? They're called something, but they're studs that go right in there and they don't come out. They stay in. It's really, ooh. How do you sit back and relax? How do you lay back and relax? I don't get it. Rosie says, LL Paul, that's nothing I want more, but not too much. Hope that makes sense. Squirrel Sniper says, the only metal I have is my back. I just have a plate and 6 by 2 inch screws made of titanium. Wow. I have to say something about area for my skin, and I literally look through scars. Look like I've been through a blender in the past. My torso horrifies people. Various wounds people gifted me with, and really crazy surgical scars that outdo it all. Wow. What are they called though? I agree, Mr. Possessive. They're on my daughter, they're super sexy. Cousin Win, how are you? Hello. When Cousin Win says aloha, Cousin Cat, and aloha, Jack. If you guys don't know, Cousin Win Brown, I'm Cat Brown. We're cousins. And one day I'm going to go hang out with Cousin Win in Hawaii. I'm just going to show up and sleep on his couch until he gives me a job. And then eventually I can just help take over the business. It is. It is very, I think it's very attractive. It's just it just seems to be painful. Rosie says you live once, so why not live it? Well, this is back dimple piercings. No, they're called something else. William says, squirrel, are you saying it's good or bad? Rosie says the dimple piercing. And Lois says, take me with Cat. Yes, when we're going to Daniel's to have Daniel's mom cook. Oh, or to Hawaii to sleep on Wynn's couch. Wynn says my dog sleeps on the couch. I have a spare bedroom for you. Cool, thank you. Me and Lois will be there. Oh, we'll be there. Oh, I don't know if that's what they're called. I feel like they've been called, she called it something else, Mr. Possessive. Venus piercings. I think says Hawaii would be great minus the plane ride. You don't like plane rides? I love them, especially if I have a window. And Wassa says, cuz if she doesn't take it, I will. Rosie says, am I invited, Cousin Win? You've got a whole bunch of people want to come hang out with you in Hawaii. Lois says, I'll share the spare room with you, Lois. But I was thinking the same thing. I was like, it's okay. I sleep with the dog anyways. Paul says, I Googled it. So what do you think, Paul? Mr. Possessive says window seats are leak. I know some people don't like them. I don't understand. Hunting and Stuff says, I hate planes. Aw. Winfield Brown says, Cousin Win says, we went sailing today, saw a humpback whale, spinner dolphins, one huge manta ray, and a sea turtle, and you're all welcome. Oh, I'm jealous. So jealous. Rosie says, I need a break. Please, pretty please invite me. Paul does like them. He says, beautiful. Rose says, be sure to have a pineapple there. I heard they are bigger and tastier there because of volcanic soil. Oh, that's interesting. Mr. Possessive says, I think the view is pretty and it helps me stay orientated. It's crazy to fall asleep and just never know where you are, LOL. And oh, I love pineapple. All right, Kat, what are we doing here? Here, this. Cousin Win says, I give ocean kayak tours and I cut up fresh local pineapple at the end of each hour, end of each tour. No way. Wow, Cousin Win. So this might be a really dumb question, but I'm terrible with geography. Okay, so is the ocean is the I feel stupid asking this. The ocean around Hawaii, is it calm? Because I imagine kayaking in the ocean could be rough. Sorry, I had to get shoes. I had to get my shoes because I'm running. Now I'm running. Jack says he's sleeping. Mr. Possessor says that's fabulous, Cousin Win. It is. Paul says, I like pineapple and kayaking. Do you like kayaking, Paul? Have you tried it before? My favorite thing. Rosie says, pretty please, can I come? I'm innocent until proven guilty. Wassa says, Cousin Win, you're not winning any friends here. He doesn't need to. He's my cousin. Y'all back off. Wassa says, I'm green at the moment. Yeah. Wynn says the ocean here is only really rough during the winter months. Nice and calm the rest of the year. Oh my gosh. All right, one more thing. Winter months, how cold does it get there? Rosie says kayaking in the ocean, my biggest fears. Oh no. Lois says Jack is all balled up. I wonder if he's cold. Think he's cold? My boss is green because he's just being jealous. I figured that out. Mr. Possessor says, I'd love to come kayak, surf, and then eat your pineapple. Stop it. 70 in the winter, maybe. We don't really get a winter. It's the same temperature all year. Perfect. I am, yes. So life for me. I just hear it's so dang expensive to live in Hawaii. I love you. You're a good boy. Are you warm? I love you. Rosie says, dang, you did us wrong. Rose says, don't forget coconuts. They're so delicious to drink and eat. Cousin Wynn says, I used to live in the San Francisco Bay Area. The cost is about the same. It would be shocking to me here in Tennessee because Tennessee's pretty cheap compared to everywhere else. Mr. Possessive says, I need to get back into watching the Hawaii house hunting shows. Oh, house hunting shows. Yeah. Rosie says, Paul, I thought I was the favorite, but Cousin Win won me over. One over me. One over me? Won me over. I'm confused. Lois says Hawaii is so beautiful. I was there many years ago. Nice. Cousin Win is laughing at Rosie. And Wasta says, oh boy, why on earth did I ever say stay in this Pacific Northwest dump for? I don't know. It's pretty magical though. Paul says is laughing at Rosie, and Rosie is laughing also. Squirrel Sniper, I'm waiting for this to get up here. Squirrel Sniper says, in the audit of reality, soy reacts as a biological veil. It introduces static into your divine architecture, clouding the intuition between your soul and the original source. Paul says, look where I'm at, Wasa. Look where I'm at, Wasa. And Cousin Win says, OMG, two of my best friends out here are about to move away to Nashville. I'm so bummed, but now I have an excuse to visit Tennessee. Wow, yes. Why would they be leaving to go to Tennessee? Doesn't make sense. Wasa says sniper told ya. Missed it. Rosie says cat, are you still cat? You still love me or are you ditching me like Carl did before? I won't ditch you. That's right. Paul says she loves you, Rosie. Absolutely. Wasa says, where is that at, Paul? And Paul answers, Ohio. Oh, Cousin Wynn says they had a job offer they couldn't refuse. Way more money for way less work. Wow. Wasa says, Ohio? Oh boy, I'm sorry. But hey, it can't be that bad. Ohio is second most Sasquatch sightings of any state after Washington and just above California. Really? Huh. Rosie says, at least invite us. Don't make us jealous. Okay, I will invite you as soon as I get settled in. Hi, Andrew Smith. Good morning. Mr. Possessive says, I'm trying to be nice about the Ohio thing. Cousin Wynn says, ha ha, wasa. And Paul says, Rosie, if you only knew how many times she asks, where has Rosie been? Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Good morning, Andrew. How are you today? Mr. Possessive says, Ohio is better because Paul is in it. Cousin Wynn says, good morning is wild. It's 10:38 p.m. here. I'm going to bed. Love you all. Good night. Sweet dreams, Cousin Wynn, and thanks for the fun facts and the invites. One day you might be sorry, but I hope not. Lois says, hello, Andrew. And Rosie says, so I am Cat's favorite. You are. Paul says, very kind words, mister. And Rosie is laughing and she says, I'm so lovable with a devil face. Wasa says, later, Cousin Wynn, and it's been great to meet you. And I think Andrew says, it's Liz. I think he says, means Lois. I don't know. Lois says, good night, Wynn. And Paul says, bye, Cousin Wynn. And Cousin Wynn says, before I go, can Jack get some ear scratches on my behalf, please? All right, we must. We can try. We'll come over here and bother you just to scratch your ears. I'm gonna fly away. Jack just does not care. There we go, just for Cousin Wynn. He usually does love it. He's totally ignoring me right now. Totally ignoring me. Winfield says, oh, made my whole night. Well, good. And Mr. Possessive says he's so unbothered. Are you awake? He is awake. He's ignoring because the phone's pointed at him. Andrew Smith, I missed something. Wasa says, I only have a small shipping container of possessions we need to find room for, cousin. Y'all back off, man. My cousin. I found him first. Cousin Wynn told the story of how he went to go help somebody and slept on her couch and ended up running the business. And that's how he ended up in Hawaii. Paul says, then we'll all show up at Cat's for an after party for sure. This girl has a very interesting fact about Ohio. Lois says the party sounds like fun. Yep, do it upright because the neighbors don't believe in calling cops, so have fun. Wassa says if I have to put on a red wig and skirt, I'm taking Win up on his offer. Mister says we'll all have that Tennessee whiskey at Cat's. Sure. That's a big thing here in town is the small breweries, the local breweries. Squirrel Sniper says clerical errors. Clerical errors when writing Ohio and Ohio. Mirror Logic have orphaned funds triggering 1.5 million in late fees and rendering vital state accounts unauditable. Interesting. Andrew just says one word at a time. Before it was has, and now it's big. Rosie says we can't have fun without corrupting. Well, that's your thought. She says, "Ugh, where is he?" I think I don't know. Mr. Possessive says, "I love a local brewery." I don't know what a place that makes whiskey is called, but there's some of those places around too that have popped up since some laws have changed in Bristol. Squirrel says the money laundering goes deeper than we originally thought. Distilleries, thank you, Mr. Possessive. Yes, there are those. Rosie says, "Cat, you ditching us? We only got 8 pennies. Give us a break." Thank you guys. You both got it. Distillery. Wassa says, "By the way, Sniper Cat is renaming this channel to ad-libbing the chat. Listen, it's too much, okay? Leave me alone. It's my channel, and if I want to ad-lib, I will." There. There. What do you think about that? Lois says, "I love Cat's voice. Thank you." Rosie said, she said what she said, and she meant it. I was playing the "I'm taking my ball and going home" voice. Mr. Izessa says we're a group of drinkers. It seems. Paul says we have a brewery in my city right next to Dave Grohl Alley because he was born here. Who is that? Dave Grohl. Time check, 4:45. Wassa says I'll start leaving blanks in my chats and you can insert the adverbs, nouns, or adjectives you want. Thank you. Might as well. Squirrel Sniper says next it will be give us a clue with talking through expression of dance. Rosie says, "LOL, ugh, I really want to sleep over at your house. You are welcome." And Mr. Consensus says, "Foo Fighters." And Lois says, "Well, I live in Wisconsin and it seems every city has a brewery." What else would you do in Wisconsin? Paul says Nirvana drummer and Foo Fighters. And Wassa says ha, like Pictionary. And Mr. Possessive says, wait, what about Dance Girl? With interpretive dance? And Mr. Possessive says, oh yeah, Nirvana too, duh. Wisconsin is cheesy. Oh, all the great things in Wisconsin, got you. Scroll Sniper said because alcohol is the ultimate biological dampeners. Rosie says, I wish I could be there in minutes if I could. Aw. Yeah, and you could take care of Jack while I go to work. Hey, wait a minute, Rosie, do you cook? I'm kidding. Lois says, seems we have a tavern on every corner. Because it's cold, and what else are you going to do? Andrew Smith says, LOL. Hello, Andrew again. Squirrel Sniper says, see the pattern. And Rosie says, Jack, I love you. And Wassa says, indeed, as inebriants go, alcohol is about the most spiritually worthless and detrimental of them all. And Paul says, taverns do good during good times and better during bad times. Lois says, I would love to dog sit Jack. Well, Lois, maybe you need to come spend the winters in Tennessee. Maybe you need to become a semi snowbird. Yes. Because you see how well I'm managing stuff on my own, Lois, with Jack. Mr. Anxiety when you leave him. Mr. Possessive says Wassa, but it's fun. And he says, Lois, oh my, OMG, yes, be a snowbird. She says, so true, Paul. Lois says, I think I could snowbird. And Wassa says, Mister, I remember when it was fun. I can't describe it that way anymore. Wassa says to Mister, I remember when it was fun. I can't describe it that way anymore. I'm a 50-year-old fuddy-duddy. Well, I have to say, I occasionally imbibe. Squirrel Sniper says 100% alcohol is a cleaning agent. What does it clean and how is the real question? And Mr. West says, Wassa, I feel it too, to an extent. I don't really like blacking out anymore, but socially I'll enjoy a cocktail and some shots. Shots. Okay. Paul says, Jack's a lucky dog. Rosie says, Cat, don't ignore me. You want me to be your chef while you're at work? Oh, did you ask? Yes. Oh, so you can cook. And Lois says, I don't mind lifting a glass. Well, Lois, I think you should come visit. I have an extra bedroom upstairs. I actually have two, but I don't know if you want to get up on a bunk bed. Wassa says, yup, mister, don't want to black out and wake up with some strange woman snuggling you. You don't want that, mister. Paul is rolling his eyes, and Rosie says, LOL, yes, I can cook. My mom taught me and my sisters at a young age. What would you do without your mom? I know how close you are to your mom, Rosie, so I know better. Was is the one who said it. Squirrel Sniper says, Wassa, you hope it's a strange woman than a man. Um, but we're talking about Mr. Possessive over here. He says, now that's junk. Mr. Possessive says, if I ended up with a woman, I really drank a lot. Paul says, oh, what is your specialty, Rosie? What's your favorite thing to cook? What's your best? Wassa says, Sniper, you don't quite know, mister. He hopes the opposite. That just made everything so funny. Mr. Possessive says, I mean, I woken up with dry cleans in my bed, if that counts. But my question is, do they get makeup all over the pillow? Squirrel Sniper. I can guarantee you it's totally okay, Sniper. Oh, Rosie says, and okay, I'll be your chef on one condition. You tell me stories about the non-innocent cat. I don't know, she's gone. The non-innocent cat is mostly gone. Mr. Possesses, why do you think I switched to a darker pillow? Oh, you switched to darker pillowcases? Smart. Lois says, what, Sniper jumped the gun? Sniper says, I feel the vibe. It's all good. And Mr. Possesses says, squirrel, it's okay. Andrew Smith says, the Mustang. I feel like these are all clues that Andrew Smith is dropping for us. Wassa says, it's okay, Sniper. I can almost guarantee you Mr. Cool. Mr. is cool. Totally cool. Paul says, Cat has a crazy side. She has a mean side. She has a not always been the nice, not always nice side. You say the innocent cat. No, the innocent cat is never gone. That's the answer. Squirrel Sniper says, I worked in a gay bar for 2 years in Camden. And Mr. Possessive says, Squirrel, OMG, that is so fun. Oh, Paul says, I'll pray for you, Cat. Thank you. Rosie says, and Paul, I can cook pretty much anything. I missed it. I'm missing a lot of stuff. It's doubling up. There we go. Came back around. Rosie can cook pretty much anything. My mom is teaching me to make bread. Nice. Squirrel Sniper said I was the only straight guy, but a target on my back 24/7, but with all love. Andrew says, thanks. You're welcome, Andrew. Rosie's laughing, and Mr. Possessive says, squirrel playfully, I hope. Paul said, that is impressive, Rosie. Bread is a good thing to learn how to make because it's such a comfort food. And oh my gosh, smelling bread baking, that's a comfort thing too. Rosie says, Paul, I'll invite you because Cat is ditching us for Hawaii. Mr. Possessive said something I missed. Shoot, Cat. Okay. Rosie, I know so many people obsessed with making sourdough. She says, I don't know how to make bread yet. I'm still learning. I know, we're just talking about all the exciting things about you learning how to make bread. Squirrel Sniper says, my sister's pub, she helped the local community take on the only gay community in a wild area of London. It was very eye-opening to say. I don't know if I read all that right. Probably. Wassa says, Sniper, I was partly hired as a camel girl to fill that niche of bars with males who wouldn't misbehave. I've seen it all too. Lois's tummy up time for Jack. And Mr. Possessor says, Squirrel, London has such a vibrant queer nightlife scene. Nightlife in general is so fun there. Wassa says, it seems no matter what you are, people are intent on converting you. Oh, I don't know what you mean. Paul says, interesting. Jack, I hear you. Dude. Rosie says, I watch people make sourdough bread, but I didn't get to that part yet. Baby steps. And Squirrel Sniper says that's why take everything with a pinch of salt. Salt's been been used esoterically for this reason since the dawn of time. Noah says, aren't all of our lives interesting? I do think so. And Mr. Possessor says to Lois, absolutely. Says nobody's boring here. Oh, Paul says cooking and baking is a form of art. I think I agree. If you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, it can be a form of torture and misery. Lois says, yes, it is, Paul. And Rosie says, so Kat, do you agree with me being your chef for story time of the non-innocent cat? Yes, I agree. And since you're young, Rosie, you get the bunk bed. Because Lois has the regular bed in the other room. Paul says, a delicious art. I agree. And Squirrel Sniper says, that's because the sun only reflects to your feet from your perspective. I spoke about this last night. Lendy Regina. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up. Good morning to you, Lendy Regina. And Paul says, then you can go live together, Rosie. We could too, right? That would be fun. She says, I don't mind. Oh, good. Can you imagine? Me, Lois, and Rosie. I don't ever believe Rosie would leave her mom, but that would be fun. I think that would be really fun. Mr. Possessive is questioning. He says, Regina George, question mark? Okay. Mr. Possessive says we should make that a reality show. And Paul says that would make my year. Lois, for real though, if you get my email, I'll send you my address and you can look around my area and see if you would be interested in coming and visiting. Like I said, it is cheaper to live here than most other places, and it's beautiful. And the winters, even though I think the winters are bad, it would probably be very mild for you. Lois says that is a possibility. Yep, sister. Just send me an email. Listen how crazy I am. Lois could be some scary man in somebody's basement. Not my basement, but somebody's basement pretending to be a sweet lady named Lois. And Cat's like, come on over. Come on over and murder me. Rosie says, I can't leave my mama, but I can stay over, like visit and go home. You sure can. You are totally welcome, Rosie. Hi, Lady Sky. Happy belated birthday. I hope you had a great day. Mr. Possessive says, a scary man, question mark. I'm listening. Everybody's saying hi to Lady Sky. She says 20 days till Mother's Day. And Mr. Possessive says, happy belated birthday, Miss Lady Sky. Squirrel Sniper says, grand risings, Lady Sky. Wow, Lady Sky. She says 35 days till Memorial Day. Lady Sky says, my birthday was awesome yesterday. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad. Yes, how was the peanut butter pie? Was this is Lady Sky. Happy birthday. Late, but you probably didn't see her yesterday. Rosie says, I stayed over at my sister's house once and I told her to take me back to mom. I started crying. She said it's late. They left, so she took me out and got me candy with a Monster Energy drink. Rosie, how long ago was this? Last week? I know how close you are to your mom. That's why I tease. Lady Sky says it was a yummy pie. Rosie says no, it was last year. I think it's very sweet that you're so close to your mom. Oh, yes. Okay, not yet. Paul says cherish every minute, Rosie. Lady Sky says, I posted a shorts video of the pie so y'all can see it. Well, great. Do you want to drop your link to make it easier for me, Lady Sky? And anybody else who could click on the link? But really, it's all about me and making things easier for me. Mr. Possessive says, when I was a kid, I'd host all the sleepovers because I never felt comfortable elsewhere. LOL, now I'm in a new bed every night. Crazy how things change. Yes. Lady Skies, thank you. Drop the link. Thank you, Lady Sky. I'm gonna pull it up on my laptop and I will check it out. Probably at lunch today. She says it has 1,000 views on it. Awesome. Great job. All right, got it up. Mr. Possessive says, OMG, the pie is covered in peanut butter cups. Yeah, wow. She says, yup. Yum. I'm beginning to think my tummy ache in the morning is psychological because the closer I get to having to go to work, the more it aches. Rosie says, I am, Paul. I'm very close. Not just because I love her, but because she was a mom and a dad, even though I have a dad but never felt like it. Mr. Possesses says calories be damned. Peanut butter and chocolate is worth it. Agreed. Rosie says, happy late birthday, Lady Sky. Sorry I missed it. And Paul says, I understand, Rosie. And Lady Sky says, makes you want a slice of it, Wasa. And she says, thank you to Rosie. All right. Lois says, I know that missing dad feeling, Rosie. And Andrew Smith says, be the change you want to see. Wow. Thank you for that, Andrew. Rosie says, LOL, Cat, if I stayed at your place, get ready for the crying. Just kidding or not. You can't cry because if you cry, I will cry. I guarantee it. Lois says Andrew is being cryptic again. William says goodbye. Bye, William. We love you. I didn't know you were still here, but goodbye. Hey, and I hope you find something beautiful today. Mr. Possesses says, now that was ad-libbing the chat. I don't know what you mean. I just don't see it. Lois says, bye, William. We love you. And I'm rooting for you, for sure. You finished Andrew's thought for him from one letter. Psychic ad lib. Oh, yes. I got you. I was just trying to help out. I was just trying to be truly helpful, dang it. Rosie says, Cat, why would you cry? Because if I saw you crying, it would give me an excuse to cry. And I cry a lot, Rosie. You just don't know. That's why I'm a fairly balanced person nowadays, is because when I have to cry, even if I don't know why the hell I'm crying, I'll still just cry, just get it out. Sometimes I'm like, this is so dumb. Why am I crying? And Paul also says, bye, William. Rosie says, Lois, my dad is upstairs, but he doesn't treat me as his daughter, but it's okay. And Wasa says, don't. I'll start crying, and I sound like a wounded Wookie? What? A wounded Wookie when I do? Mr. Possessive says, it's hard for me to cry sometimes, and then it hits me at the most random times. I know. Me too. That's why if I just let it come out now, whatever time it is, I don't try to hold it back unless I'm at work. But if it happens at work, it's because I can't help it. It's just has added up so much and it just comes out, which is really embarrassing. Or at the dentist office, really, really embarrassing. Rosie says, go ahead and join us, Wasa. She says, LOL, the crying group. Right? Lois says, my grandmother always told me crying is good for the soul. And Paul says, I'm crying now. I love you, Paul. Lois says, we can cry together. Okay. Um, Jack is over there making a bunch of noise. This is the worst time to say I have to go. But I'm going to leave you with this. Cry away, guys. Take time to cry today. This is the worst ending ever. Okay, we're back. Nothing like a good cry, especially with friends. Paul says, I love you all. You're all a blessing to me. Same, Paul. Paul, exactly. I feel the same about you, my dear. And Andrew says, see you. Bye, Andrew. Rosie says, love you all. Have fun at work. Thank you. Everybody's spreading the love. By the way, one more time. Get the cry out. If you got to cry, just get the cry out. You might feel better afterwards. If not immediately afterwards, a little afterwards, you'll feel better. And with that, Yogi is live, and I love you. Even if you cry, Rosie, I love you. I love you. I love you guys. Thank you for being my friend. It's so stupid to say, but really, I feel it like thank you, thank you, thank you.